All right, for more on this, NFL insider Jonathan Jones here tapping in with us this AM on the Morning Buzz. And, JJ, we saw it there with the highlight with Maye going down with that concussion. He's now in protocol. What's the latest on that situation and also the QB plan for the Pats moving forward?
So because Drake Maye, Brandon, is in the concussion protocol, we do not yet know what his status for this week's game against the Tennessee Titans will be. We will see if he is able to be a limited participant at practice on Wednesday or Thursday. If he is not by Thursday, I would say it is extremely unlikely that he would be able to play this week against the Tennessee Titans. Of course, Jacoby Brissett comes in. He's the vet. He didn't play that well toward the end of his starting tenure there. Excuse me, with the New England Patriots. And we know that he, of course, was then unseated by Drake Maye. But, you know, have no clue yet the severity of the concussion. But Drake will be in the protocol this week. He has to work his way out of the 5-step return to play protocol. And then they will determine it. Look, it's week 9 at the Tennessee Titans, a struggling team, one of the teams that is struggling the most in the entire NFL. And so even if he does pass protocol later on this week, there is a question about whether the Patriots, knowing that they invested the number 3 overall draft pick in Drake Maye, maybe they still sit him. Maybe they say, look, we know that we're a 2-win team, that the playoffs are not going to happen for us. We got a spark with Jacoby, and Drake Maye will return to his starting role the following week. But maybe we just sit him just to be sure, just to be safe there. So we'll know more as the week rolls along. But right now, because it is somewhat difficult to get out of protocol in just a week, would imagine that the Patriots for the start of the week will be rolling with Jacoby Brissett at QB1.
So Patriots dealing with a QB injury there. You can say the same thing for the Packers. Coach Matt LaFleur saying after the game, high level concern for his quarterback in Jordan Love, his latest injury. We're not that far removed where he missed 2 games in September with that sprained left knee. What are you hearing about this latest injury for Love here?
So because it was kind of bothering him throughout the game and obviously flared up there, and they decided to remove him and insert Malik Willis, it would seem to me that this is not something that you'd be talking about short-term injured reserve for Jordan Love. This does seem to be much less than that. He's going to have an MRI today to determine the severity of that groin injury. 2 things here to keep in mind with the Green Bay Packers. First of all, the medical team and staff there is known to be among the more conservative in the NFL. And so what I mean by that is if some teams may say, oh, he's good to go, or, oh, he's just, you know, going to miss a week, the Packers usually say, oh, he's good to go, we're going to hold that guy back, or maybe it's going to, instead of 1 week, be 2. That's sort of their history around the league. And then, of course, while it is a huge tilt against the Detroit Lions next week, they do have that bye after that. They know that the season is not going to be won and lost next weekend. And then consider, of course, Malik Willis and what he has been able to do there as the signal caller for the Green Bay Packers for more than 2 games now, getting them those wins. And consider the fact that this is a coaching staff that understands how to accentuate some of his strengths, some of his attributes, hide some of his weaknesses. And so when you consider that, knowing, of course, this is a big NFC North matchup against the Detroit Lions, there's no question at all about that. But again, the season will not be won or lost next week. There is a bye week coming up. They're still going to wait on the MRI there in Green Bay, but no one should be surprised if they kind of slow play this in Green Bay, if Jordan Love is questionable throughout the week, and then we find out over the weekend whether it will be Jordan Love or Malik Willis.
So no time to panic there when it comes to Green Bay. You can see QB2 taking care of business there with Malik Willis. Other teams may be scrambling to find pieces to contend into a postseason. We're getting close to that trade deadline. I want to take a look at some of those targets that might want to keep some eyes on, that might be moving this week. When you see this list, which the first couple that catch your eye here, JJ?
Well, the one that's not on there would have been Christian Kirk, someone that I've been eyeing for the last couple of weeks back when the Jaguars were in London. But he, of course, fractured his collarbone, is out for the season. So he's no longer on that list. At the top of the list is someone who should be at the top of the list, Deontay Johnson, who did not play in the game for the Carolina Panthers against the Denver Broncos. He and the team have had some communication issues, if you want to call it that, in the past. And obviously, he did not play this past week, even though he was able to practice. Would imagine that he is at the top of the list of someone who could be moved. He's a 28-year-old wide receiver. He's toward the end of his contract. The Panthers know where their season is headed. Mike Williams, of course, with the New York Jets, he was the odd man out. As soon as the Jets traded for Devontae Adams, he could still absolutely be on his way out, potentially a reunion with the Chargers or perhaps with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You see Kendrick Bourne and Josh Uche there. Uche has been among a trade candidate, and among the trade candidates, I should say, for the last year or so. Could see him on his way out of New England. And then lastly, Zadarius Smith. I know the Browns just won. They have some life. They have some juice. Maybe they wait another week, see how this upcoming week goes. But those are 5 names, of course. Plenty more that can happen. We are 8 days and some hours away from the trade deadline on November 5th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Certainly some names are going to be on the move. Teams wanted to see if they could win or lose this week, if they would be buyers or sellers, and they may even wait another week. And so if we're waiting for that flurry of trades, it might not happen today or tomorrow. We could be waiting another week to see that next Tuesday.
As always, Jonathan Jones, keeping eyes on all the movement the closer we get to that trade deadline. Appreciate it as always, JJ. Taking a look, we got more football. Monday night coming your way tonight in the Steel City at 8:15 Eastern Time. Russ running it back at 5-2 against the Giants, who are 2-5. Pittsburgh, by the way, scored 24+ points in 3 straight games. Danny Dimes and the crew, not so much when it comes to the G-Men.